What radio? The music you want.
More variety than any other station on the planet. RadioWhat.com.
What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. DJLittleRock.com. Just head over there and get a free price quote, check availability, and maybe you can have me at your next event. Yeah, I like to play with the people, play for the people. Today on the program, Shimmer Johnson. She is, I found her on Instagram. And she looks pretty cool. I've heard some of her snippets. She's a singer, songwriter, vocalist, pianist, lyricist. She's from Canada. Oh, Canada. So we'll be talking to her in the next few minutes. I get to give her a jingle and catch her on the jangle. Shimmer Johnson. This week's shows on Thursday, it's the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam over at the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. Yeah, come on out, sing some songs, have some good barbecue, and if you're over 21, you can have some frosty beverages because, you know, they got the beers. If you want to have a beers, you can have a beers. And I keep the music family friendly, so bring the kids. It's a good after-school treat coming out to the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas, Thursday night at 6 p.m. And we go until about 9 p.m., 6 to 9 at Thursday at the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. Be there. And then on Friday night, my usual Friday night show, it's over at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Rab, they got it all. They have so much to do in there. The full bar, kitchen, pool tables. There's a pool tournament on Friday nights, but there's usually a couple tables free available for anybody that wants to come in and play some pool. Let's see. They got tables all set up, and there's a dance floor. And, of course, you got me on the other side with the karaoke and the video dance party. And outside on the party patio, you got brand new shuffleboard and foosball. So check that out. Oh, there's a giant Jenga game and checkers as well. So you don't want to miss that. That's over at the Rab on Friday night. That starts at 8 p.m. until 2 in the a.m. The Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Come on out. Find me. Thursday night at the Old Post in Russellville and Friday night at the Rab in Conway. And then on Saturday, I think it's family time. I don't think I have anything to do. So there you go. Saturday. I mean, if you have a last minute party, maybe I'll do it for you. Give me a call. So without any further ado, let's get to speaking to Shimmer Johnson up there in Canada. Yeah, calling Shimmer Johnson now.
Hello?
Shimmer Johnson, please.
This is her.
Shimmer Johnson. Oh, no, you're famous. It's Keys Dan with the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
Not too bad, actually.
Super
we had
duper.
a bit of a windstorm here a few minutes ago.
Okay, all right. Shimmer Johnson, where in the world are you right now?
I currently live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, I was trying to figure out where you are based out of. So you're based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. All right. Oh,
yeah,
Canada.
on the west coast of Canada.
The West Coast. Okay, so that's okay. That makes it an easy journey down to L.A., which I know that you spend some time there.
I go to L.A. quite often, so
that's
I'm there a lot. I write with a lot of billboards and stuff, so.
Exciting. All right, we'll give the people a little bio of who Shimmer Johnson is.
Well, basically, I'm a singer-songwriter, like I said, based out of Canada. I've been singing since I was a little girl with my family. I have been in bands. I've been in girl groups. I've done a little bit of everything for the last 10 years, and I've had a couple of my songs on MTV Canada Made and Sweet 16. I've had one of my songs get on a Saturday Night Live skit with Dan Aykroyd for about 30 seconds. I got like this $5 check for royalties. It was funny. Yay! So yeah, I haven't been crazy successful, but I've been pretty good. I've had some of my songs played in Ireland back in the early 2000s. And just recently, I just finished a brand new album with Barry Benedetta. He's the guitarist that used to play with Cinderella when they had the hit album. And basically, we met on the internet. We just started writing songs together over the internet, and then he flew out to Edmonton and stayed here for 2 months, and we recorded the full album. And so I had like a full rock album, kind of like Essence meets Tori Amos type mixed type of music. It's different than all my other stuff that I have online currently. So yeah, so I have lots of projects going on.
That's fantastic, Shimmer Johnson. You mentioned Cinderella, and I'm all of a sudden nobody's fool just passed right through my head.
Yeah.
I'm not your fool. I'm sure you could sing it better. Give me a little bit of it.
Oh, I know. I don't even think I know that song. I do know it. I don't.
And okay, you said
Cinderella was my brother Chris. It was one of his favorite bands, so that's the only reason why I even know who Cinderella is.
Hey, but you got to you say
Molly Crew.
Yes. Now you're talking. Now you're speaking my language here.
Yes. Barry was on that tour, the big famous tour with Ozzy Osbourne, and the one that's on was a little net series with Molly Crew. Like, they were on that tour. He was on that tour, so he witnessed a lot of that stuff.
Whoa.
But he said to me that half of it's not even remotely what happened, but...
See, you said you haven't had big spouts of fame, but you've brushed with greatness, and you're heading in the right direction, for sure. Yeah,
the last 2 years I've been doing really well. I got to sing Sweet Child Mine with Tiffany last year.
What?
At an 80s
Tiffany.
Concert. It was fun.
Now, she lives in Nashville now, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
somewhere
really
there. I'm not great friends with her. I'm from Miami. I'm not great friends with her, but I know her manager, Scotty, is a pretty cool dude, and I've worked with him down in Miami quite a bit. I think he moved up to be closer to her to get involved with her career a little bit more. So that's great, Tiffany.
And she's putting out a brand new album. She's working on it right now.
Yes.
When I was talking to her last.
Oh, that's great.
I got to her last year, and that was fun.
Oh, that's super.
I got to open up for Tiger as well.
For who?
The year before that, which is the Glass Tiger rock band, Canadian rock band.
No, you cut out a little bit. I'm sorry. Who was it?
Glass Tiger.
Glass Tiger. Yes. Don't forget me.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I've been going back and forth to LA. I got to write a song, Breakaway, with Michael J. He's the guy that wrote Toy Soldier for Martika back in the 80s.
Yes.
So I got to write with him a couple of years ago, and he's trying to get the song placed right now in a bigger movie that's coming next year. So you never know. Might hear from me quicker than I'm thinking. And that's more of like a pop song that we wrote together.
Shimmer Johnson, you're throwing so much for me to unpack. Keep going.
And with the Tiffany's, Tiffany's song All This Time?
Yes.
It's the second album. I love Tiffany. I was a big fan of hers growing up. And I got to write with the writer that wrote that for her, Steve McClintock. I got to write a country song with him. It was fun. We did a country type song ago, and about a year and a half ago. But when I told her I was going to be hanging out with Tiffany, she's like, "Oh, tell her hi for me."
Oh, that's great.
For a while.
So in the battle between Tiffany and Debbie Gibson, you go with Tiffany.
Oh yeah, I like Debbie Gibson too, but they're like, she's like after that. I'm like, did you guys ever have a rival?
No, and I'm sure that was all put together by the media and MTV for that matter.
Totally was. Yeah.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
What she told me. She's like, oh, media, we're best friends, and they're doing a tour right now.
Yes.
Debbie Gibson and the New Kids on the Block and all of them.
Absolutely. That's so right. You are right on topic, right on target here, in tune with pop culture yesterday and today. All right,
Exactly.
Shimmer Johnson, you said you had been singing from a young age in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Have you lived in Edmonton your whole life?
Pretty much. I grew up here. I was born in Edmonton. I lived in Nebraska with my mom and my dad for a few years. My dad's American. My mom is Canadian.
Oh, okay.
So I lived down there when I was little. I don't remember it from when I was little. And then my mom and dad broke up when I was around 3.
Oh.
My mom moved back to Canada, to
Okay.
Edmonton, where I'm from. And basically, I grew up the rest of my years here to about 15. And then 15, I decided I didn't want to live with my mom anymore, and I called up my dad. He paid for my ticket up there, and I went and lived there.
In
And
Nebraska?
while I was there, he got in Branson, Missouri, actually. He moved to Branson.
Oh, Branson, yes. That's
So,
just a
I
few
lived
hours north of where I'm at.
I lived in Branson, Missouri, and they all talk like this.
No,
My
for
Yeah.
those that don't know, Branson, Missouri is kind of a small version of Las Vegas. It's really
Pretty much,
a fun
It's got
place to go.
everything.
I have not made it up there, and I'm really only a few hours away in Conway, Arkansas, just about a half hour north of Little Rock. And when people say,
Yep.
"Oh, let's go to Branson this weekend," or let's spend some time, that's really the closest attraction. And you actually lived there. Did you go to any of the shows?
Yeah, I went to the shows all the time.
And what kind of shows did you
'Cause,
see?
I used to work at Country Mart there last year when I was 16 through high school because I graduated in the States, right?
What's
And
a
my dad
Country
got my dual
Mart?
citizenship. Country Mart grocery store. I was cashier and I worked there. And, but basically, no, I used to. That's when I started kind of writing a little bit.
Okay.
I was a guy named Dave Johnson, which is kind of funny because I hadn't met my husband yet.
Oh,
My
okay.
current husband, his last name is Johnson. Like, I'm destined to be a Johnson.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I used to write with him country music. So we used to do like a country duo, and we would basically do little shows all around Branson. And then, yeah, I did as much as I could. And then I turned 18. I moved back to Edmonton because I was just tired of being out there. I wanted to come back to my city.
Okay. And is your mom still around? Did you go back to be with your mom?
Yeah, I came back to live with my mom. My mom's not around no more. She passed away a couple years ago. But,
Oh, sorry. to hear that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But Dad's still alive and kicking. He lives still.
He's
planning
in
on
Branson,
moving
you
back.
said?
Yeah, he lives in Kirbyville, which is like 15 minutes outside of Branson. And
Oh,
his brother
okay.
Jerry.
What's
my
your dad doing
brother
these
Jerry
days?
lives there. I'm retired. He owns a property he rents out.
So what did he do in his early life? Or what did he do in his regular life?
Well, my brother Jerry and my dad both are singers, so they can both sing. So he used to do truck driving, and then when he wasn't truck driving, he was playing his band. So he's always been singing. My dad. It's kind of, I grew up right. We used to sing in the living room with all the family, and we have like tapes of us singing when we were little kids.
I
Still
fully
have them
believe it's in the
somewhere, but I
blood.
have-
You have a truck
I
driving,
have them
singing
to play
dad, and a
Yeah.
truck driving, singing brother as well.
Oh no, my brother is he just likes to sing.
He likes to
Yeah,
sing.
no, he did. Yeah, he has a John Michael Montgomery kind of voice, like a really country voice, but a beautiful country voice.
Sweet.
But he never ever did it professionally. I'm the only one that really went the professional route.
So what does your brother do?
To do the singing. He just works at a hotel and does cleaning, and he owns his properties and rent them out like my dad.
I like that.
Kind of following in my dad's footsteps, yeah.
Hard-working men right there. And so they instilled that work ethic into you, I'm guessing. And okay, so what do they think of you and pursuing your music career, Shimmer Johnson?
Well, my dad's always excited and hoping that I get to do what I want to do. Even if I don't get all crazy rich and famous over it, I'll still probably do it until I'm like 90 and ready to die. So, yeah, I'll keep on doing it no matter how far it gets. But
it seems like you're doing it, Shimmer Johnson. You got some traction. I mean, people seem to follow you and like what you do. I know I've heard quite a few of your songs, your little snippets and your YouTube videos. You have a very sultry voice in a lot of the songs, very smooth. Is that the type of music that you like?
I grew up listening to all types of music, so. When I was a little kid, obviously my dad was into country, so I grew up doing a lot of the country stuff like Tanya Tucker and Dolly Parton and, those ones. And then as I got a little bit older, I started listening to my own type of stuff, and that was more popish. So it was stuff like Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston and that sort of thing, and Shania Twain. When I went to the States, I ended up getting back into the country a little bit because I was surrounded by it.
Yes.
And I had this little crappy car that I bought when I was 16.
What kind of car?
With my money from Country Mart.
What kind of car?
And my car would only pick up country music stations. It wouldn't pick up any other stations, just country. So I actually was happy that my car only picked up country songs and country stations. It taught me how to harmonize.
Okay.
Because I would sit there and I would end up learning all these country songs, male country songs, and I'd be listening to the background, and they were always female backgrounds. So I would learn the female background parts, and that's pretty much how I learned how to harmonize. Now, to this day, I can harmonize to anything and anyone because I learned it in my little crappy car that I paid $300 so for.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again. What kind of car was it?
I can't even remember. I think it was like, oh my God. I don't even remember. It was a little hatchback blue. I think it was an Excel.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested on what people's first cars were. I know mine was held together by rust and paint. It was held together.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think it had like an oil leak from God knows how long it had been leaking oil, but that thing ran forever. I literally had to give it away at the end because it wouldn't die. I did $1 for it and it wouldn't die. But yeah.
All right, talking to Shimmer Johnson out there in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Canadians. Exactly. The Canadians are invading. They're coming, and they're coming to take over.
Yeah, we're trying. And just started. I'm going to be getting Stephen Rosen is his name, and I'm going to get his consulting help on how to get my music a little bit further out there, and basically he's worked with some of like greats like Christina Aguilera, Selena, and other people, and he's out of LA. So I'm in talks with him, actually. Before you called, I was booking his ticket to come to Edmonton so I could work with him.
Yes, please. So, Shimmer Johnson, when you were talking about your influences, you named some really lofty influences. You have Tanya Tucker and Dolly Parton in the country field, and then Whitney Houston and Mariah in the pop field. Yeah. Are you aspiring to do these types of music, to get out there, to...
I definitely want to there with my music. And yeah, like I said, I grew up, there was one point when I was 15, Mariah Carey's song Without You. Yes. There's a part of that song where she holds the note for like 30 seconds. And I was like, how do I do that? And I actually went and got vocal training on just how to breathe so I could hold a note for 33 seconds because I wanted to sing it in a talent competition. And learning how to do. I took 2 classes, and then I just practiced. That's about all the training I've ever had was when I was 15. I got 2 vocal training things on how to breathe properly.
So 2 classes, and you're on your way.
yeah, I just wanted to learn, make sure I was doing it properly, and I was pretty much doing it properly anyway because I learned from my dad. But
Yes.
it gave me a few more exercises, and I was able to hold the note for like 28 seconds, so I was happy with that. I made my 28 seconds work.
Yes.
And I did the competition.
Can you still
But,
hold
yeah,
it that
I used
long?
to do, like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I used to do, oh yeah. And then, I used that for that competition. And then when I got to be 17, 18, 19, I started listening to more of like the Alanis Morissette and the Tori Amos, and then the early 2000s Evanescence and all that sort of thing. And pretty much my music, I find everything that I listen to and kind of make it my own, right?
That's what a creator does. They find the influences, the stuff that affected them throughout their life, and then they mash it all up and mix it with a little bit of love, and it turns into a new creation. And that's what you're doing, Shimmer Johnson. You're creating things.
Yeah, like my pop music that I have on Spotify, I've only had it on there for a year and a half, and I have almost 500,000 streams. And that's with like absolutely no marketing or anything. That's putting it up and people finding it and listening to it.
That is fantastic.
Doing pretty good with no marketing and no nothing, really.
No, that has to make you feel really good, Shimmer Johnson.
And that stuff is more pop-based, right? So
yes.
I have I did my adult contemporary album with Don't Break Me on it. And I still have that full album. I haven't released it yet. I've only released like 3 or 4 singles from it. And I'm hoping to release that this year. Once I get the
what are you waiting for? It's out there.
Benedetta.
What are you waiting for?
Well, I haven't released any of the stuff because I've been trying to find a management and a label that would be able to help promote it more than I would be able to do it on my own, right? So,
right.
Labels and stuff don't. Yeah, they don't like to help people that have already released the stuff because then they have no way of making the money off of it, right? So if you
I guess
pre-release stuff, then it's not really usable anymore. So you kind of have to. I've been independently releasing it myself, right?
Right. So you've released how many songs out into the universe so far?
I have Pride, Getaway, Don't Break Me. And then I have my Don't Break Me remix album that I did with a gentleman out of the UK. He just took my Don't Break Me song and did 6 different remixes.
Wow.
Like a dubstep and whatever. And he made that release that as one full album. I did a collaboration for One Pack Mind with a girl on Instagram that I met. And she wrote the lyrics.
Yes.
And and she provided the track. And then I wrote the melody for it, and we released that, and that one did really good.
That's great. So you already have some things out there, Shimmer Johnson, that are out in the universe to let people know what style you are. You exist, and you're getting some traction with these songs. And I'm so happy that you're looking for representation. Do you have a manager? Or is that what you're looking for?
Looking for just someone that has good insights to the industry and can direct my music into the right. Because I write in all styles. I have a full country album. I have a full rock album. I have a full adult contemporary album. I have a top 40 album. I have so songs it's crazy, over 300. So I just don't know what to do with all my music.
Right.
So now I have it all done, and I just need. That's why I'm getting Steve Robin involved. So I songwriter ed the things of getting people to sing and release them, and also getting stuff placed for film, TV. I did get one song from my De Benedetta album with Barry Benedetta. That's the rock project. That one's on a show called Theo Site, and it's just like it's a pilot of a horror comedy. So it'll be funny, but my reflections on that just and it's on the first pilot, so she's excited about that. I'm
excited for you.
A little bit of
that's De Benedetta with Barry Benedetta rock project. Yes, that is
my rock pop, my metal pop project, I call it.
Oh, that's
it's pretty much. Yeah, so it's like old school 80s type guitars with know, 2000s to present rock, like a Tool meets Cinderella, pretty much.
So,
because it's very.
yeah. So Shimmer Johnson, you're not one to limit yourself. I can already see that. Who put that?
No.
Who put that into your mental repertoire? Who was it that influenced you to never limit yourself? Who was that?
I don't know. I've always been kind of that way all my life. I know say don't be the jack of all trades, because then you're not good at one thing, but I try to inspire to be good at anything and everything that I do. So I like all styles of music, so I don't see the point in why I have to stick to just one genre if I can sing in all genres.
Oh, you and Taylor Swift. She's always fighting with her record company. You need to put 2 country songs on this one. Really? No, I don't want to. I'm not feeling it right now. I want to go rock. I want to go pop. I want to go R&B. I want to do something different.
And that's how it should be.
And that's
right?
how it should be. You should have complete creative control. But it's tough, you know. And you're expecting someone to distribute your music, but you want to still retain the complete control. It's a push and pull always when you're dealing with these big companies, isn't it?
Yeah, well, when you're working with the record labels, regardless, they're gonna want control of the masters for set 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, depending on the contract that you sign with them, right? And if you sign over complete control of the masters, which I think that's what Taylor Swift did on some of her stuff that she's planning on re-recording.
Right. And that's what Prince did. That's exactly what Prince did. In fact, he dropped his whole name because they owned his name. So, So
you really, what I tell people with any songwriter stuff is you make sure you have an entertainment lawyer to go over any contracts that you sign, because you don't want to sign into something where you're literally just giving your music away.
Right. And
like there's this one contract with this record label that was interested in signing my one album, and I gave the contract to my music lawyer in LA, Ned Manoyo, and he's like, don't sign. I'm like, why? He's like, you're just telling them that they get control of your songs and they own your songs and you're literally going to get them. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I hired you.
Yes.
No clue.
That is good advice.
They make it in such lawyer language that you just literally don't understand what it says.
Oh,
you need a lawyer. So.
And they give you that nice bonus check. No, that's what they do. They flash that big bonus check, $10,000. I've never seen that much money in my whole life. And you say, oh, I should just sign. No.
But you know what's funny is the bonus check, you have to pay it back.
Yes.
So it's not really bonus.
You're giving people so much insight, Shimmer Johnson. I knew I was going to learn some stuff from you, and here I am learning about the music business, the insides. Okay, so you get that $10,000 check for the signing bonus. It's not really a bonus. You got to pay it back.
No, you have to pay it back. Yeah.
Wow. Has that situation ever happened to you, where they've given you a sum of money?
No, I haven't signed with anything. I haven't signed with anything yet. That's why I've been just releasing all independently until I find the right label. I think that'll fit the way I want to run things with my career, right? So,
well, it seems like you have a very good.
I want to find good management.
Yes,
and someone that can get me onto tours and opening for the bigger acts and start getting events that way. That's kind of what I want to do with my rock stuff. I want to get a management that can get me on the bigger tours with the bigger A-list bands, open from them, and then basically do that for a couple years till people know who I am, right? So.
Well, it seems to me that a lot of bands do go through Alberta, right? You do have quite a few bands that come and sing, and a lot of times on their tour, they do want to grab some of the local artists to do the opens. Have you ever done any of that?
Yeah, that's what I did with the Glass Tiger. I got to open up for them. That sort of thing, right?
Yes.
So, and Tiffany, I got to open up for that stuff.
Excellent.
Just like you have to want to get on the tours, right? But to get on the bigger tours, like with the big giant, stadiums and so forth like that, that's where the money is. Those ones to get on them, you're usually required to pay money to get onto them.
Huh.
I could have opened up for Godsmack in
Yes.
October of this year, but they wanted $1,500 for the opening spot, which really it's not a crazy amount. I'd probably make the money back on my merch.
Okay, you do have merchandise. You do
touring.
bring a couple suitcases full of T-shirts and stickers and such.
Yeah, well, you have to when you're touring. You have to do that because that's what you're going to make your money on.
Sure.
You're going to make your money on.
Okay, see,
honestly,
I didn't know how that worked. Go ahead.
I have 500,000 streams on Spotify.
Yes.
And I made $2,100.
Ouch.
That's all.
Ouch. That's not a lot at all.
Online don't make a lot of money. When you get streaming stuff online, the people that make the money are the A-list singers because it's whoever is selling the most. All that money is usually sent to them before it's sent to all the other indie artists and stuff that release online, right? So the bigger A-list singers will always get paid more than the indies.
That you're
even if they got 500,000 streams.
You're enlightening me, Miss Shimmer Johnson, and I know podcasts are about the same way. You get about a penny per listen, right, when you're starting.
Yeah, it's not very much. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. But okay, so yes, and you were leading me in a different direction. I was thinking, wow, you pay $1,500 so you can sing. That sounds unheard of. But what you're doing is you're getting the opportunity to be in front of all these new fans, these people that would never have may never have heard of you, and you're getting more exposure. So I could see where a small investment of $1,500, and yes, to a lot of people, $1,500 sounds like a lot. It really isn't if you can make it all back in a shorter amount of time. It comes back to you because people know who you are. And you may get other gigs out of it, and you may get better representation and better distribution of your songs. So, Shimmer Johnson, you're very smart.
Yeah, so you can do it that way. Unfortunately, I couldn't come up with the $1,500 right away that they needed, and the spot went away really quickly, right?
Oh, I'm sure
I didn't end up taking that gig because when you take those gigs, you have to pay for your own flight. You have to pay, I just didn't have the money to do it.
No, absolutely.
I live in Edmonton, but I have I own a full production company as well as my full digital recording studio. So I have lots of stuff I do here. So I'm constantly working.
Now, do you have other people that you work with? Are you producing other artists as well?
Yeah, for sure. I got a girl named Katie out of the UK. She flew all the way from the UK to come and record one of my songs I wrote, and we wrote one together.
That's
so we
great.
wrote two while she was down here for the day. She only came for the day, and we did two songs.
Go, Katie. Oh, wow. That's a go-getter right there.
So she did that. And then right now in the recording studio, we have this beautiful singer. She's 16, almost 17. Her name's Paige.
Yes.
And, oh, my God, beautiful voice. And she kind of has she kind of sounds like Alessia Cara meets, that girl that sings, what is her name? Jessie Mraz or something. I can't remember her name.
No,
she has that similar type of voice. It's a sultry voice, and she's 16 and blonde, and yeah, she's a really pretty girl. But she's in the studio right now recording.
No, that's fantastic. See, now you're giving it another facet of Shimmer Johnson. Not only are you a talented singer and a songwriter, but you have the ability to have other singers and possibly songwriters come in and record with you. So is this studio big enough for a band, or is it more for singers? Oh, so you have the ability.
It's got a full. I have a full drum kit in there, and then I have the vocal booth, and then the main area. It's relatively big. It's not insane big, but it's big enough. I rented a big, huge house.
Oh, that's super.
And then I just turned one area into the recording studio, and the rest is with my family.
Yes, I know. I completely understand that. And I know as soon as computers got powerful enough, anyone with a computer and a microphone has a recording studio of sorts.
Yeah.
Enough to make a demo tape. And I know a lot of people that have turned their walk-in closet into a recording studio.
Oh, yeah. You still have to have good equipment for it to sound as good as it does on the radio, right?
And a good ear, for sure. I know after since 1986, I've had these headphones on pretty much, on the daily. So I know my hearing is taking a beating. So I'm glad that there's people that have better ears to do production. Now, when you're doing your production, do you have other people go through and edit, maybe do a little touch up on it, or do you do it all yourself?
I do all the vocal editing, and then my husband Corey Johnson, he does all of the music, like the guitars, the piano, everything.
Okay,
he plays everything.
Now I know why you married Corey Johnson. Go get him.
Yeah.
All right. He's a musician
he
too.
Can't sing. He can't sing to save his life, but he can play every instrument.
Oh, fantastic. See, that's a good coupling. That's a good duo. Yeah.
And then I play piano myself.
Okay.
I play piano myself by ear. I have no idea what I'm playing, but I can play what's inside my brain that I have. Great. I have like melodies float around in my head, and I just run into the studio and lay it down.
So you've never taken a lesson?
Longer. No.
You've never taken a piano lesson?
Never in my life. No.
How did you learn this piano? By ear?
Yeah, by ear. Just sitting down on the piano and you play around until basically I can hear the notes in my head that I'm right, because I'll be sitting at like having lunch and then this melody will come in my head, like a piano thing, and I'll actually hum it out on my phone so I don't forget it, because if I don't, I'll forget it. And then when I get home, I just try to find it on the piano and I play it out. And then Corey listens to it, and then I usually will lay out a melody over top of it. And then basically he comes home and adds guitars and whatever it needs and makes it into a huger song than I could make it into.
Shimmer Johnson, your new friend Keys Dan is very jealous that you could play by ear. I have a piano in this house. I have 3 guitars. I cannot play a lick. Maybe that's a lie. I can play a power chord.
A few notes. Yeah, I can play a few notes on the guitar. I can sing. I can play that song. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. That's about the only song I play on guitar.
Oh, you're sending chills up my spine, Shimmer Johnson. I appreciate it. Thanks for singing in my ear, and thanks for singing in all the listeners' ears. That's an amazing thing when you have that gift that. And you said you developed it from an early age, and then you said you started 10 years ago. That leads me to believe: are you a young person? Are you still in your 20s, or what year did you graduate?
I'm so not in my 20s. I'm so not telling you how old I am.
No, what year did you graduate high school?
I'm so not telling you.
Well, I'll let you know. I'm 50. So
to all the world, I am 29 forever.
29 forever. Okay. But you said that you really started getting into it about 10 or 15 years ago or so. Yeah. Is that right?
Well, I started writing my songs with Corey when I met him when I was 21.
Oh, how sweet is this?
I've been with him for a long time.
So how did you meet Corey? Let's go there.
Okay, it was back when MSN still had everybody's emails, where you could see everybody's emails. And I used to host karaoke for Mr. Entertainment here in Edmonton.
Hey, and, I do that too.
For them, forever. And I had this new karaoke show. So I went on to MSN and I emailed everybody in Edmonton that had an email address on MSN to come down to my show.
That's good.
Because they don't do that
right
no
there.
more because of everything.
They took that away because of you, Shimmer Johnson. Because you're emailing everybody, you spammer.
Yeah, because of the whole spamming thing. I think I started the spamming thing. But I spammed like 750 people.
How many showed up?
Nobody showed up except Corey.
How sad is this? Sometimes...
what's even funnier is he doesn't even like karaoke, and he showed up. He likes karaoke.
Yeah, because he heard there was a hot KJ. No, he heard there was a hot KJ there.
Oh, no, he totally was not interested in me when he first met me. He heard me sing, and he loved my voice.
Oh, okay.
But he was totally into my friend. He wanted my friend Julie. Completely. He didn't want me at all, which is fine because I wasn't attracted to him at all.
No, but you're a siren. You got him with your voice.
And then I sang, and he's like, "Oh, you should come to my recording studio."
What?
Like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was like 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going with you, creepy guy. I don't know you."
Yeah,
I'm not going. I said,
is that the
give
new?
me your number.
Is that the new pickup line
Give me
now?
your number.
Come to my recording
Back then
studio.
it was. Yeah. And then I was like, "Well, give me your number, and I'll call you tomorrow, and then I'll come to the studio during the day."
Yes.
And he told me to this day he thought I wouldn't call.
Oh.
And I called the next day.
Yes.
And I went down to his studio that he had open, and it was just a small little tiny studio. And we wrote our song "Waiting." I want to redo all of my songs I did back then. I never released them, and they're really good. I just need to update the.
Do you know
sound,
that a lot of the artists, you know, from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s even, are re-recording a lot of their music, and you may be right. You kind of touched on it, that re-recording it means that they will get control or more control over their songs. Is that why they're doing this?
Yeah, because once you give the masters away, they're to the labels. If you're giving it away, they own your masters. So the only way you can regain your songs is redoing the masters. So redoing the songs so that you control the new songs. And then you re-release, you know, blah, 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 this is re-released, like Taylor Swift is going to do.
Yes.
And now she's in control of all our songs. They'll stop playing the old masters and they'll start playing new masters.
Yeah, I know AC/DC
So,
has an album that was 2012 version of the songs.
Yeah.
And I guess Brian Jones did all the Bon Scott songs since Bon Scott, you know, obviously passed away. So, okay. You see, a little insight. So you started writing your songs with your hubby, and that's wonderful. You know, when you were merely a young lass of 21 years old, and you...
Yeah, when I started writing. Before that, I sang in this really cheesy girl group called Genie. We used to do like covers of like Beyonce and...
What was the name of the band?
Destiny's Child. We were called Genie.
Genie!
My yeah, my best friend used to... my best friend Jason that I lived with,
yes.
He still has a T-shirt of our Genie.
Oh, save that T-shirt, Jason. Save it. It's going to be worth a bunch. That's fantastic.
That was from years ago, but yeah, we all signed it back then too. So
everybody, save your Genie merch. It's going to be worth a whole lot. Yeah. Shimmer Johnson's about to blow up.
And then when I was 18, I sang in this rock band, and when we were trying to figure out names, they wanted to go by the Money Shot. I'm like, I am not going to be the lead singer of the band called the Money Shot. It's not happening.
that would limit a lot of your locations, I think. It may not play in the Bible Belt.
No, and that was back when No Doubt was really popular. So we were doing like No Doubt songs and
that's great.
All that other stuff, right? So and I would do all that. In Edmonton, it's pretty much cover bands. If you sing your singer-songwriter stuff here, there's really nowhere to do it.
No,
everybody wants to hear cover bands.
Yes,
here.
the cover bands. If you just want to make a living as an artist, as a singer, you can do it as a cover band. If you have about 60, 100 songs in your pocket, you can go do weddings and parties and special events and such. And make a pretty decent living, a couple grand here, a couple grand there. Yeah.
I sang in an 80s rock band called The Normals, and I was with them for like 5 years. Right. And literally, it was just the weekends that when we would play at casinos, and I would sing like The Final Countdown and Journey, Don't Stop Believing, and all the 80s songs.
Yeah, but awesome. That's a very different thing. You're very different than a party band, because yes, you could do it. You could go to a karaoke show. You could sing, but you're also a creator. You're a songwriter, and that's a very different animal right there. So you're not limited by stuff that's already made. You want to create and put stuff out into the universe, and you've already done that.
Exactly.
And you have all this stuff that's been produced.
Started doing that.
Yeah, you have all these songs produced just living on a hard drive somewhere, and you need someone to help you promote them to where a creator wants to create. It's not about the money, but it is about the money. You'd like to get paid.
Be about the money,
right? You'd like to get paid
to a point.
for your services, for for your talents? How do you turn this thing that you love into a job? And
a job that you love that you can do always. And you know,
now,
I have children myself, so I would like to leave something behind, right, for them.
For sure.
My youngest is 7, and he was diagnosed with autism a couple of years ago.
Oh no! So tell me about that.
That's been a whole different learning curve, but he's the happiest kid on the face of the planet. And then I have 2 other boys that are 13 and 9.
Okay.
So, lots of kids.
Yeah.
And basically, I have a really supportive family.
Yes. So, and I've talked to a lot of singers and a lot of entertainers. In the entertainment business, the money can be good, but the work is not steady. I've said that many times in this podcast, and I know people are going to get tired of listening to it. But and I know in America, at least in the United States of America, we have problems to where when you're in the entertainment business and you're just starting out, you have no health care. How is it in Canada?
Health care?
Yeah, if you go full time,
our healthcare is free here, pretty much.
Okay, so even a full time musician that is not paying into, well, I guess with taxes you pay into your healthcare, but
pretty much, yeah.
So you could go full time as a musician and still have your healthcare covered.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, you could.
Okay, I'm moving to Canada.
Because we have. I think I pay $200 a month, and that gives me insurance for my dental. That's the only thing that's not really great here in Canada. But as for like going to the doctor and getting prescriptions cheap and all that, that's covered by. Especially with Alberta, we have Alberta healthcare, and Alberta is really, really, really good. We don't have to pay nothing into Alberta healthcare. It covers our doctor visits and everything. So our eye appointments once a year. Yeah, that's good here. Some
of our politicians are trying to do that to where they can cover the health care. And, they call a lot of the pushback to that is people go, ooh, socialist, ooh, communist, and they give it a name. And it's people taking care of people, I think. And if there's a way that it can be done, why not do it? Yes, if you're going to tax me just a little bit to make sure that we all have health care, then do it. Yeah.
No, our health care is pretty decent in Canada. I don't complain about that at all.
Man, I get people all the time.
As for the music business in Edmonton, there's not much here for actual music. There's not much here unless you're a cover band. If you're a cover band, you can make money here. But if you're a singer-songwriter, indie artist, they don't want to even listen to you.
So that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be a cover band anymore. You're done with that.
No, I've done that for years, and off and on, and in between my writing, right? So I have 300-plus songs in all different genres.
Oh, my goodness. Shimmer Johnson, you need to have all that out there.
I have a full adult contemporary album.
You should be a bazillionaire by now with all that.
I wish.
Now, are all these songs? Have all these songs been produced and they're all completely mastered?
Just sitting there? Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Now, does Cody play with you in all those songs?
Does who?
Cody?
Corey?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I'm not editing anything. So Corey plays. Yeah. So Corey plays on all the songs.
He plays on everything, and I also have other. I use Ian Hunter a lot, and on my country stuff, I use the other Ian. I have lots of Ians.
Okay.
I have bass players and guitarists and multiple Ians.
Are they all out of Alberta, or do you travel to?
Yeah, they're all out of Alberta. Yeah, they're awesome.
So there is a lot of talent in Alberta. There is a talent pool in Alberta.
Yeah.
Canada.
And I have lots of great musicians that I play with that I can use. Basically, I don't have a full set-out band for De Benedetta. It's just me and Barry, right?
Okay.
And then once we get out tour, I just invite, a bass player, another guitarist to do rhythm, and another guitarist to help with the solos and stuff, because how we write on our rock project, it's multiple instruments to make it sound the way it is, right? So
yes,
pretty much I need to bring a bigger band to be able to do that. Me and Barry just did a tour from Georgia to New York.
Oh, my.
This May. Yeah, we just did a small tour, and it was just me and him on stage, and my drummer, Keith Runkle. He's awesome.
See, yeah, but I was wondering about that. You have a family, and to be a touring musician, you have to give up a lot, including some time with the family. How are?
And that's totally okay with me. I have a really supportive family.
That's great.
My sister comes and hangs out in my house if I need to leave for a week or two or a month. She would, but for the most part, it's usually just me leaving. So Corey's usually here with the kids, and he's running our production company, and so I usually just go out on the road whenever I want. I can. So.
Wow, that is great. See, okay,
and then my kids are all my kids are all computer savvy, and so they just FaceTime me.
It's amazing. The internet has brought people together, and that's why I asked you if you had all the musicians in Edmonton, because I know that I've met up with I've talked to people that are musicians in Australia, but then they make a record with a bassist that's in the Middle East, and then a drummer that's in the UK, and then
yeah, we do that all the time. That's what I did with Barry. He lives in Nashville, right?
Oh, so you didn't meet him at first?
No, we wrote everything online at first.
Wow.
And then I flew him out to Edmonton, and then he stayed in my spare room for 2 months, and we just recorded everything.
Amazing.
And did the full album.
Amazing. Yeah. What you could do.
So we wrote everything
web
over the internet. So he would just play a guitar part, and then he'd send like 4 or 5 different guitar parts to my husband, and then my husband would go through it and turn it into a song. He's like, okay, here's one of Barry's songs. Here you go. And I go in the studio and I write lyrics and a melody over top of it and backups and whatever. And then Corey adds more stuff. And then basically once it's done and ready to go, all the songs, we wrote 28 songs in 3 months.
Oh my.
Yeah, we wrote 2 albums for De Benedetta, which was really funny. So when we first started writing the De Benedetta album, we wrote like this Avril Lavigne poppy type rock. So like basically top 40 rock. So we have this poppy Avril Lavigne type album that we wrote together. And then my drummer's like, this is fluffy and nice, and we should go heavier. I'm like, what do you mean heavier? He's like, we need something heavier. He's like, let's try it. And then we wrote Shadows, which is going to be our first single release, and it's a heavy rock song, like metal pop, but I add like a pop melody over top of it, right? So
excellent.
Basically, and the album's like if it was Tori Amos singing over top of, or Amy Lee singing over top of like Tool.
Oh.
So it's a different type of rock album.
No, you're painting.
I'm excited about it. It's a really
and you talked about Avril Lavigne, a fellow Canadian.
Oh yeah, I love Avril.
But Amy Lee's from Arkansas. I just found that out recently.
From Arkansas,
I just found that out.
Arkansas.
I know she was born in California, but she spent most of her life in Arkansas on a farm, which is great. Oh, it's fantastic. So, man.
Yeah, I used to live 5 minutes. I used to live in Hollister, Missouri, which is 5 minutes from the Arkansas border.
Yep. Okay, and that, like I said, I'm in Conway, which is really only a few hours south of where you were in Branson or in that area.
What's funny is when I went to Branson High, I was in school with the Osmond second generation, so I know Scott Osmond, and I graduated with David Osmond.
What?
I went to school with them. They're kids.
Did you get to do any singing with them?
Yeah, I used to sing in choir with Scott. We would do like little, we did lots of singing actually in grade 11 and 12.
Shimmer Johnson.
He was a year younger than me, so he was in grade 10 when I was grade 11.
Yeah, you sang with the Osmonds.
Anyway. When I was young, I did.
You can put that on your resume. I sang with the Osmonds.
I did, kind of.
Yeah, you did. You did. Oh, my goodness.
They were young, though. I haven't talked to them in years.
Yeah.
After I got out of high school, I haven't really talked to them.
But see, I had no idea that the Osmonds, moved out. I guess.
Yeah, because they had a show in Branson, right?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it would be the whole family that had to perform on the weekend. So Scott would perform, and all of them. I go see him once in a while when he's doing his full thing with his family.
Okay,
so.
now you've kind of touched on something. The Osmonds are making a lot of kids so they can have a band. You've made quite a few kids. Are you trying to put a band together?
Yeah, no, no. My boys inherited my husband's singing voice. None of my kids can sing.
Hey, they don't have to sing. You're the front person. You're the front of this band. They can just play instruments in the back. You said they're computer savvy.
Well,
maybe they can put some beats together.
Really funny is my autistic son.
Yes.
My autistic son Avery.
Yes.
He actually sings. He sings on key and.
Yes.
Yeah. He can sing, but he's autistic, so he doesn't. It doesn't got all the communication. But he'll sing my songs. I videotape him once in a while singing my songs.
That's fantastic. See, and that's how you connect with your boy.
Yeah.
By singing with him. I know I have. When I do the karaoke shows, I have one family that comes, and they have an autistic young man, and he likes to sing Ozzy Osbourne's "Crazy Train" and "Sweet Home Alabama," and he's in his element. That's how they connect with him. And he just has a blast. And you have to know
exactly.
You have to know how to deal with an autistic person. I know it's a challenge sometimes. I don't know it firsthand.
I'm lucky that because there's all different levels of autism, right?
Yes.
There's the low functioning and the high functioning. I'm lucky that my son is high functioning. He reads at a grade 2 level. He's going to grade 2. He reads at that level. So he can read and communicate, and he talks fine. He's got social skills. But the issue he has is he doesn't, if you ask him questions like, how old are you? He doesn't understand how to answer them. It just doesn't, his cognitive doesn't work that way. So he has to learn the answers.
Yes, he will find his place.
Slowly. Yeah, he will. But he's a good kid. He's the happiest. He's happier than all the rest of the kids I've ever met. He's a super happy kid.
And he's got a couple of siblings that are going to help him along the way as well.
Oh, yeah. Two older brothers that day on.
What are the other siblings into?
My oldest one is 13, and he likes to do video editing. Does lots of video editing, and we have a production company, so my husband trains him for all the editing stuff, so he can edit videos, and he's fairly good at it. He's starting to do lots of gotcha videos and stuff for YouTube, and he's got his own
that's great.
YouTube channel.
So he's got his own Premiere. He's got his own video editing software, or Final Cut, or whatever he's on. Yeah,
he can operate Final Cut and all of that. Yeah.
Oh, that's super.
And he's 13.
13. And then, they know more than we do.
My 9-year-old's just typical. He likes his video games and Fortnite and that sort of thing. So he plays games 90% of the time. He's 9.
Oh, I have a 13-year-old myself. She's into video games.
But the other older ones, they do hip hop dancing every year. So we always do tournaments, and so they dance. They can't sing, but they can dance really good.
You've got backup dancers, for your shows. Yeah. You are putting the band together.
Backup dancers.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
they
are
can dance, though.
Yeah. Hey, so all right. So Corey, what instruments does he play?
He was trained in college for piano. That's his main one. So he plays at a college level in piano. But he plays drums, guitar, bass. He can play any instrument you throw at him.
Wow.
My husband's also, he's totally on the autism spectrum too. He's really crazy, stupid, smart. He can throw anything in front of him and he just plays it. He's like, I've never been diagnosed, but he goes, I'm totally autistic. And I'm like, yeah, you probably are.
I like that term, crazy, stupid, smart. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's crazy.
Put it on a T-shirt.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, that's your next T-shirt.
That's my next T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's crazy, stupid, smart. It's insane. He can read a whole novel in a day, a 500. He'll just skim reads it, and he'll know all of it. I don't understand. I can't do that. But he reads manuals on how to operate stuff, and he learns it that day. of. So
Wow.
he's just really smart.
Well, good.
And that's kind of what my oldest boy does too. You throw something in front of him and he'll learn how to do it.
Well, it sounds like you love the guy because you're bragging on him, and that's fantastic, Shimmer Johnson. You have a good team that you've built up. Your family life looks
and I
like
have
it's
lots of good
yeah.
musicians and friends and family that all work together. Like I'm part of this show. It's called Connexus. It's pretty much like a circus type show. My friend Morgan Knudsen, she does like fire spinning and wand and all that other stuff. And then we have other people that do other types of acts. And then I sing the music for it when we're performing it. And we have an LED wall and with all visuals and so forth. And it looks really cool. And we do that show once in a while here in Edmonton. So
wow, that's a reason to go to Edmonton. Cool. That's a reason to go. What's the name of the circus you said?
Connexus. You can actually, it's online if you, Connexus.
And this is something that you put together when?
Well, I didn't put it together. Morgan and Callie put it together. I just do the music for it, and Corey does all the instrumentation for the music for it. And they're the talent. I just kind of hide to the side of the stage and sing.
Oh, no.
When I do it. But, and we have little different other shows that we do.
That's great.
So they're starting to put other little shows together.
And you're out there. You're getting involved. You're singing so many different types of music, and you remember all these songs. You don't have to have the karaoke words in front of you.
No,
you memorized all of your own songs.
Yes,
it's impressive.
You have to, or you
300 songs. But 300 songs. I can't remember 300 anythings. That's very impressive, Shimmer Johnson, and I'm so excited to be talking to you. And I knew you were talented. I knew I just wanted to know where that came from. And it sounds like your dad and your brother from an early age is where it came from, and then you found the right guy. You found Corey, and it's just taken off. And then you've surrounded yourself with all these other artists as well. I'm glad that you have this project with Barry Benedetta. I like the way that it just rolls out off the tongue. Barry Benedetta.
When we were thinking of what should we call our band name, I'm like, why don't we just use your last name?
Yes, please.
Okay, you want to hear a really funny story about Barry?
I do.
Okay, so when he was in Cinderella, he's like, make sure that my name is on the back. I want to be credited for the guitars. And they spelled his name wrong.
Oh.
on the big album, so they spelled it Bennedetta.
Oh.
And he only has one N in his name, not two. But they put two in, so all his life he's had to put the extra N in.
Oh, so his name is not with but
was Benedetta with one N, not two.
Well, and, you have it written debenedetta.com.
That's his actual legal last name.
Yes, but then it right after it says Barry Benedetta with the two N's.
Yeah, that's because of the mix-up that the record label did.
That's the only way they're going to find him online if they look it up that way.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Hey, it's amazing how stage names come about. That was not a very big jump, but a mistake. And you have a different stage name.
I just think it's kind of funny.
Speaking of names, we didn't even go over that. That could have been one of the early things. How did you get the name Shimmer Johnson?
Shimmer was just the name of that I was going to name my band when I was out touring, just Shimmer. And basically, when I went to go release my original stuff, I'm like, I should just use Shimmer, and then Corey's last name's Johnson, right? So just Shimmer Johnson. And it just kind of stuck with me, and I just went with that.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think Shimmer's a great band name, and Shimmer Johnson just showcases you, of course, as the front. But yeah, if you did shorten it to Shimmer, I'd like to see that album. That's a great name. Great name for a band. And you don't know what to expect from that name, because it's
no.
You could get rock, you could get pop, you could get country or R&B, and yeah. And that's what you are
I
going
want
to
to be
get.
one of those artists. I want to be one of those artists, literally, that I can release whatever genre and it'll be accepted. Where they're not going to think that because I'm Shimmer, I'm only putting out country, or because I'm Shimmer, I'm only putting out pop, or because I'm Shimmer, I'm only a jazz artist, which I don't sing jazz, but you know what I mean. But in general,
you will.
I don't.
You're not against it, though. You will. Would you?
No, yeah, I can't. I don't like to sing jazz. I don't know. It's just not my thing.
You wouldn't do one of those big band versions of your song? Because I know it's been remixed into techno and dubstep, but you wouldn't do a bee-poppity boo-boo.
Nope. I have one song that I wrote. I have one song that I wrote that it was like a 40s type song. Never be the. It's I can't remember what the song's called. I have to see it. I only sang it once. I sang it for this little film thing that my friend was doing, and he needed a 40s song to be playing in the background of this one scene. He's like, "Can you write me a 40s song?" So me and Corey wrote it in like 15 minutes.
Fantastic.
I recorded it and edited it and sent it to him. And I don't know if it ever got used, but it's like a 40s song. But I can do stuff like that. And live my love. You know, that type of stuff. I can do that. I can do the whole Whitney Houston stuff, and I can do the Alanis Morissette stuff that I want you to know.
With the little trill in your voice. It's only a skip and a jump to Britney.
And I could do the country stuff. I got a girl crush. You know, Little Big Town.
Yeah. Yes, that's yes. Oh my goodness, it's becoming a karaoke
But I like all
favorite.
music, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what I sing. I like I said, I don't care what song it ends up being my career song, whether it's pop, country, rock. It doesn't matter. Just something that gets me out there and noticed, and then I'm good to go.
Well, out there, and I'm looking at your Spotify. I am cheating a little bit, but I'm seeing you have the Falling Silence, Silence, the Don't Break Me, the Getaway, and then the remixes for Don't Break Me are out there.
Yes,
and yeah, that's where do you want people to find you? Where do they connect with Shimmer Johnson?
Well, the next album is going to be the De Benedetta album.
Yeah,
that won't fall on my Shimmer Johnson Spotify page. I have to make a De Benedetta thing, but we haven't officially released it yet, right? So,
right.
And so yeah, there's that. And actual for Shimmer Johnson, I wrote this song called Breaking, and it's another dance type song, but a slow song, and it's going to be released in the UK. I started working with Audio Freaks records out there, and basically they're doing all the promotion, and I got played at a big festival of 15,000 people a couple weeks ago, and it's doing pretty good on spins and stuff for DJs wanting to use it. So you never know, right? And that might be my good song that gets me out there, but
it could be.
There's that.
I think this DJ may just play it on Thursday or Friday. I have 2 gigs this week. So and then we
ordered KFC.
And when the people ask me, you got, I worked at KFC back in 1986. I worked in the KFC restaurant, and then they said, "Hey, do you want to be the KFC chicken?" And I said, "Sure." So I opened up a lot of restaurants in South Florida, dressed like a KFC chicken. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's how I got my first radio job. Because the radio station I was working with at one of the grand openings said, "Hey, can we freelance that chicken for some of our other gigs?" And I said, "Let me talk to my boss." And he said, "Yeah, you can." And I said, "Okay." So instead of being the monkey boy for the morning show, I was the chicken man.
That's awesome.
And that's a little bit about me. And mostly we're getting to know Shimmer Johnson. But every once in a while, a little tidbit of Keys Dan just spills out onto the podcast. What makes you famous? It is. All right. I know I found you on the Instagram. How else do you want people to connect with you?
Well, like if they look on Spotify, they just have to type in Shimmer Johnson. I'll come up. If you type in Shimmer Johnson on Google, it'll come up. I'm on Apple iTunes and all of that. The song Falling Silence that you've seen on Spotify,
Yes.
I actually didn't write the lyrics for that. I wrote the melody and I wrote the music with Corey. And that was written by Karen, and she wrote a book called Falling Silence. And we basically turned it into a song, and it's basically the song she uses for all of her book promotion for her book she just released in June.
It's amazing where inspiration comes from. You could read a book and hey, I'd like to make a song about that. Because the book's all about her life and coming out of a cult, actually. Oh.
And she came out of a cult, and they treated her horrible. And it's a very emotional book. So she gave me her lyrics, and I turned it into a song. yeah. That's what cults do. They don't treat you very nice. Sometimes they look real smiley on the outside, but then on the inside you go, So Karen Kamen, that's why you'll see Falling Silence, and it says Shimmer Johnson and Karen Kamen. That's why, because she wrote the lyrics on it. I actually got her to sign up for ASCAP, and she's like, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter now. I'm like, you totally are.
Are you part of ASCAP too?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
I have, like I said, I have dual citizenship, right? So I use my ASCAP versus SOCAN here in Canada. So
okay, all right. Well, I mean, do you have both, or only the ASCAP?
You can't have both. You can only have one.
Oh, okay. So you found that the ASCAP might be more advantageous?
Yeah, it's got more, because they have the big giant networking conventions and stuff, right? BMI or ASCAP are really awesome.
Yes, I've been to a lot of BMI and ASCAP parties, but I'm not familiar with what they do.
Yeah, some of the writers in LA, they're like, you need to switch to BMI. They're trying to get me off ASCAP. I'm like, I've been with ASCAP forever. I don't know how to do it. But I guess you have to, in June, I can switch. Any June I want, I can switch to the next whatever, because it's from June to June.
But what does that do for you, being a part of ASCAP?
Basically, it's just royalties. It's how you get paid for your songs. You have to register your songs, and you have to register your songs with... Yeah, if you're a songwriter and you're putting songs out and you're not registering your songs with a society or whatever, you're not going to get paid for anything.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell my listeners that are aspiring songwriters, you big dummy, go register your songs.
No, you have to. You have to make sure that you're registering your songs, and always make sure that you send your songs in for copyright. It's $55 to send 10 songs in to the United States, Copyright Center. So always send your stuff in, because you never know.
No,
right?
yes, you never know. And $55, you could spend that, on junk, or you could spend it on your future. And I think,
you can just upload your songs and the lyrics and everything to them right online. It's really fast.
Oh, that's
it doesn't even take that long, and then they send you like a little thing in the mail with your.
I know I pay BMI and I pay ASCAP when I have my online radio station going. It comes with the streaming, and I don't know. I didn't know that it was really. I don't know where that money's going, and I'm hoping that it goes to the artist that I'm playing. But I don't. Yeah. I didn't know that it actually did. And you say you made a couple, a minimal amount of money on some of the songs. But yes,
500,000 streams. I made a whole $2,100.
Hey, that's better than zero. But still,
that is.
You feel like you should be getting paid a little bit more on that one. I guess nowadays people get the artists are getting paid in their concerts. It's not. With all this streaming and everything's pretty much free, the only way the artist can actually make money is to go off and be in a concert. Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly?
You make more money, doing live shows, because you make the money off the merch, right?
Sure.
Like I said, the streams don't really pay very much, but it gets you out there and your voice out there. So
right, that's what gets you known, and then people go, I want to see that person live. I want to see her do her stuff.
And then once you get to the A-list standing, then that's when all the money starts happening.
You get all the monies. All the monies comes to you, Shimmer Johnson.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not about the money per se, but I wouldn't mind leaving a legacy and stuff for my kids, and
you are.
So that they're off forever.
You are Shimmer Johnson. You're writing these songs. You're putting it out there, and they have that to remember you by forever and ever and ever.
Definitely. I wish my mom would have. My mom didn't sing very well, but I wish I would have had something of her voice before she passed away. All I have is her answering machine message.
Oh, well, I'm
That's
glad
it.
you have
That's
that.
all. So every time I want to hear her voice, I play her answering machine message that I recorded. And I put it on SoundCloud under private links so I can just listen to it when I feel like it.
Oh, how sweet is that? Shimmer Johnson. That's
it. I have like a tape of her singing when I was 3.
Yes.
But I don't have anything to play tapes on because I don't have them anymore.
Well,
can't even listen to that anymore.
In your studio,
I have to order a tape player.
Yeah, in your studio, you should have some way. I had a reel-to-reel for the longest time, and I had some people say, "Hey, do you know anybody that has a reel-to-reel?" And I said, "Yeah, I got one right here." And I made it digital for them. So that's a nice service that you can add to your studio. What's the name of your studio over there?
It's Catalyst Productions.
Catalyst,
which is our full production studio. Plus, we do all the live events for festivals and stuff in Alberta and BC area. Sometimes in Winnipeg too. So,
wow.
Yeah, we do quite a bit.
I'm so excited for you, and I'm so excited for your artists that are up and coming. You're getting your career on track, and then you're helping others come up with you. That is a sign of a good person.
That's kind of what I want.
Yes, that's what you should be doing as you go up.
I totally wish I would have met someone like me when I was 16. Cause I'd probably be a lot farther than I am right now.
But then you had your dad and your brother that were helping you along. teaching you how to play songs and sing. They kind of helped you. And then
But if I was 16 and somebody come up to me and said, "You want to come record in a recording studio and write music?" I would have been like in my glory at 15 or 16.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know it existed, right? So.
You would have been so far ahead of the game, but you're there. You have 300 songs.
Had I known 20 years ago that all I had to do was go to LA and start networking, I would have did that 20 years ago. I was trying to do it from Edmonton, and like I said, the music scene's just not here. There's really not anything here. It's hard to get noticed here. And as soon as I went to LA and I went to one of the networking things, I met Michael J. And Michael J. and I ended up writing a good song that's possibly going to be in a bigger movie if it gets picked.
Yay.
And then after I met him, we went to another networking thing. I got to meet Diane Warren. Like, I got to meet so many people, and it was awesome.
Well, L.A. is definitely the place to be, and yes, I'm from Miami, and that was a pretty big in the music and the entertainment business. But sometimes you want to have a little quieter life, and it sounds like you're making a good life for your family there in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Exactly.
Shimmer Johnson. So yes, you're just a plane ride away from anywhere you want to be.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. So, and you say Edmonton doesn't have a music scene. It's got Catalyst Studios. Yeah, there's a music scene right there.
Well, it does have a music scene, but it's more, like I said, of a cover band music scene, really.
Right, right. All right. Well, they know where to find you. Any last words for the people?
Yeah. Like I said, just Google Shimmer Johnson. All my stuff will come up. I have Instagram, Twitter. Please add me. Talk to me. I do respond. I'm not one of those artists that just ignore everybody's messages. So, yeah, just message me and chat with me. I collaborate with lots of people all over the internet. So, open to that too. So,
Shimmer Johnson, I have all your links. I put in a new like on your Twitter, on your Facebook page, and yeah, you got a lot of people following you on Facebook already. So you're doing good with your self promotion. All you need is somebody to give you that little extra push to get you out there into the stratosphere. You've put it out into the world now to get you out into the universe.
Exactly.
All right, Shimmer Johnson. Man, I knew this was going to be good. I knew it was going to be a whole lot of fun. And you have you have a story. Everybody has a story, but you have a story, and you've told part of that story at least. So, Shimmer Johnson.
Exactly.
Thank you for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, party people. Shimmer Johnson, official Shimmer Johnson on the Instagrams, and Shimmer Johnson everywhere else. If you put her in the Google, yeah, she pops up. And she's on Reverb Nation and Spotify. And what's this other one? Bandcamp, and she's everywhere. Facebook and Twitter. But I found her on the Instagram, official Shimmer Johnson. I knew she's going to have a story. She is cool. And I'm glad she found Corey. Man, that is a great couple. They work together. She says he can't sing worth a lick. I don't know. He probably can sing a little bit. But yes, Shimmer Johnson is the front person in the band. And then Corey's back there with whatever he's got to play. Guitar, piano, drums, whatever. Out there in the Catalyst Studios in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Yeah. All right. So glad I got to talk to you, Shimmer Johnson. Thank you for being on the program. What makes you famous? If you want to tell your story, I encourage you. Give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What, the music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. Towards the end of the movie Forrest Gump, Forrest narrates that his wife died on a Saturday. When he is at her grave in the next scene, the tombstone shows her passing on March 22nd, 1982, which is a Monday. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, radiowhat.com.
Follow Keys Dan on Facebook and Twitter. Click on the links at the top of keysdan.com. Follow Radio What on Facebook and Twitter. Click on the links at the top of radiowhat.com. The music you want is on.